Welcome back to another Exploded figure review. Today we are looking at one of the Legionscon Exclusive Crossroads sets. This is the male figure, so you can make either the Revenant or the Warrior, or you can mix and match the parts and make whatever you want. So it's a really fun set. Before we get into it, I want to thank Joe Viteri and Jeremy Gerard for sending me an advance copy of this so that we can explode this out and take a look at all the great stuff that's included in this. What we're going to do is we'll look at the trays first. So we'll pull the trays out and see kind of what all is in the package. And then we'll blow it all up and look at all the individual parts that come in here, which is just a ton of parts. So I will have a laminated view of that exploded view on my table at Legionscon. I will be at table 9. The Legionscon exclusives will be at table 10 right next door. So if you're at that table, you're trying to make your final decisions on how many of these you need to get, you'll be able to take a look at that sheet and go, oh yeah, I forgot it's got this part or that part, and I need to get a couple more for whatever you have in mind for customs or what have you. So let's go ahead and break this thing apart and see what we got.
It's art by Akerman, art by Akerman. You best get ready, cause now it's time for art by Akerman.
All right, so here we have a look at the trays that are in the male Crossroads figure, where you can make either the Revenant or the Warrior, or you can just mix and match these parts to make whatever you want. So you do have a total of 4 heads here, and an extra faceplate for this helmet here. So a total of 5 different head looks that you can have with this. A couple torsos, you got a bunch of different armor accessories and weapons. So yeah, just a lot going on here. So let's go ahead and break this thing down into all of its smallest components and see what all we've got. All right, so here's the exploded look at the Warrior / Revenant. Once again, a lot of stuff going on here. You know, they tend to pack these Legionscon exclusive ones with just a ton of parts. So, we'll just get right into it. Starting off with the head. You've got one of these knight helmets that we've seen on some from the Necronominus and All-Star 6 wave. This one comes with the skeletal face on it in the package. And then it has, this armor piece that goes over the top of that to lock it in. You've then got, this piece that kind of swivels up and down on here. And it does have one of these spikes for the back. So that's kind of what you get in the package. But then if you take that off, take that front piece off, in addition to the skull face, they also have this one that is painted really cool. I really like how this looks with those red eyes and just kind of the gray around the eyes and stuff. So once again, you could put that piece back on. You'd have this visor to swivel up and down. So you get that look there, which is pretty neat. So that's the first 2 head options, is both of them using that knight helmet, but with a couple different faceplates. Next, we have the Xylernian guard helmet. So now this is one that is not meant to come apart. It's glued in there, but kind of looks like this, with the different visor on here that slides up and down. So you got, that look there. As far as the paint job, as far as the helmets go, it's very much this like dark gunmetal look. When it comes to the face, you've got a little stubble on the chin, nice brown eyes. So really good paint job there with some shading and highlights. So nice paint job. You've then got the Gorgo style helmet. Now, one thing with this as I drop it is this top piece back to the top of this fin typically will pull off. It is a piece that is glued on there. Mine was glued on so well that even with hot water, heat gun, whatever, it was just not happening without me ripping it. So I left it on here, but just know that this piece back to the top of this fin typically will peel off with enough heat. Just couldn't get it on this one. So, and then that does come with these, like the batwing type fins for the helmet. So if you want that, that's kind of what that looks like. My one fin here did get a little bent in the package, so I'll just heat that up and straighten it up when I'm doing the fast motion to put all this back together. Then you have the scaphoid color head, similar to the Chirel and the Nymph, where it had a scaphoid color head. You've got the same thing here, and same kind of thing where it's got the mouth that actually goes in here like this. So that's kind of the look that you get with it right out of the package. But if you heat it up, you can pull this piece off and not have the open mouth in there. So if you don't want to have the green tongue open mouth, you can definitely pull that out and get this look instead. And then they did put in a scaphoid color neck peg with this. So if you wanted to put that together with this build, you could. And then, you know, also keep in mind that the other two figures that they're going to have at Legionscon for the exclusives are the Legacy Scaphoid and the Sir Valgard. So if you want a couple extra heads for your Scaphoid, you've got this one here, and then you've got the one in the Nymph and Chirel pack as well. Going into the body, you've got this, you know, kind of the Magnus, Vorthog, several other figures have had this, this torso. Really nice torso. I know a lot of people like using it, especially for dwarves. It's kind of smaller height-wise and a little thicker on the sides to where it's kind of got this chunky look that works really well for dwarves. So nice paint job with some nicks and scrapes and, you know, some dry brushing in there. You then have a articulated neck. It's got the, you know, where it goes back and forth. So you've got that in there. It comes with this chainmail neck piece that kind of covers that transition between the torso and the neck. So this is what comes on it in the package, but there's another one that we'll look at here in a bit. Going into the upper arm, you've got this one with the, you know, it's got the chainmail on the inside as well as the belt. On the outside here, you have a piece that plugs in for the armor. So you've got kind of that look there. We've also seen this with the Urzok that just came out, where it had kind of a more sharp, brutal looking armor plate that went on this arm. And then you also have this like elbow pad. Both of these pieces are glued in. They're not really meant to come off, but with heat, you can get them off. Did kind of tear mine a little bit here. Same thing with this, kind of tore it a little bit, but you know, once again, this is not a piece that's really meant to come off, but I take it off to show you, you know, what is possible. But then we'll put it back together in fast motion. We'll do some super glue, and this is kind of the look that you get with those in there. Moving down into the lower arm, you've got kind of your standard elbow. Not really anything spectacular going on there, just normal gunmetal look. That goes into this bracer. You do have a little bit of like a lighter gray trim here. The rest of it is pretty much all gunmetal. And then that goes into one of the hands. The hands that come on it are gripping hands with a vertical grip, so you can kind of aloft a sword. But there's two other sets of hands that we'll look at in a bit, but this is kind of what you get in the package, is the vertical gripping. You do see there's some like rivets painted on there and stuff, but for the most part, just really that gunmetal look. Moving down into the lower body, you've got kind of your standard pelvis here. It has the peg that goes in it. You know, you have to heat this up pretty well to pull this out, but once again, not a piece that you need to take apart, but if you do, that's how you do it. And then there's a like soft goods skirt piece that goes over this skirt and loin piece. And then from there, you have a couple different options as far as the waist piece. The one that is in it is this one here with this loin cover there. And I was having a hard time placing this at first because I was like, you know, it's a 1.0, but I can't think of who else has this. Like it doesn't look super familiar. And I had actually even asked Jeremy, and it's actually from Apharius, the Centaur. So pretty interesting that this, you know, because the Centaur, obviously you got the big horse body and then you've got the brute scale top. So seeing this on a 1.0 creates a completely different look for it. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, that's what's on it in the package. So pretty cool waist and loin piece. You also have this belt piece, the one with the kind of the two loops here, so you can put weapons into it. It's got the belt buckle is colored a little bit different, and then you've got that leather look with a couple rivets and stuff. So pretty nice little belt. Then going into the legs, your upper like hip joint, all in that, you know, solid kind of gunmetal. You know, it's not a solid color, I shouldn't say, because there is some like darker areas and lighter areas, but there's no trim or anything like that painted. That then goes into the upper leg, the thigh area. You do have a little bit of different color on the little leather straps, and then the buckles are painted, the rivets, a little bit of trim that kind of looks like it was dry brushed a little bit to highlight it. So pretty cool. That then goes into the lower leg, and the lower leg has one of these like armor pieces that goes on it like this. So this is what it looks like in package. You do have those leather straps on the side, the buckles painted, and this piece is one of those that's glued in, but you can pull it off if you want to. And then you've got something that looks like this. So not sure if we're going to see any kind of other parts for this, like from 3D printers and stuff, but it is a piece that would lend itself towards, you know, some different armor plating or something to change that look up. So then going into the feet, you've got the ankles, standard 1.0 ankle that goes into this foot here. It's that kind of pointed foot design. So you see it kind of comes up to a triangular point. And then that's what it looks like there. So that's the feet and the ankles. Going into the extra armor you've got with this waist piece here. This is an alternate one that you could use that has this like chainmail loin with it. So that creates a different look if you wanted to do that instead of the Apharius one. Or you can mix and match. So you could use like the Apharius loin piece with, or waist piece with the chainmail loin piece, have that kind of look. Or you could flip it up and use this smaller kind of waist piece with the longer loin piece. That looks a little odd. I don't know that I would use this one together, but maybe that's the look you want to go for. So little swapping opportunities there. You also have a different neck guard if you wanted to use this instead of the chainmail one that we looked at earlier. In the package, it comes with two belts that are on it. Both of them are going kind of across the chest like this. So you've got this thinner one, has the belt buckle painted, everything else is just kind of leather colored. And then you've got this one here that has a few more kind of details and buckles and rivets and things like that. And then on the back, it's got an opening for, you know, a weapon or shield handle, whatever you wanted to do to hang from the back of that figure. So it was like that in package when you get it. So it creates a nice look with both those belts kind of paired up together. Then going into the extra hands, we already talked about we had gripping hands that are vertical hinged. We also get gripping hands that are horizontal hinges. So you got two sets of gripping hands on there, and then you have these kind of expressive hands if you wanted to use those. And those are both horizontal hinges. So then as far as pauldrons, you got two different pauldron options. You have these that are kind of the Poxus ones. So it has the, you know, metal plating on it, and then it has the chainmail coming down from the bottom. They look similar, but they're not the same. You can see like the way that the chainmail is torn up, the way that the top is like there's chunks taken out of it or in different spots. So that's pretty cool. It kind of gives it this non-symmetrical tattered look to it. Love those pauldrons. Those are probably my favorite. And then you have these pauldrons that are the more kind of simple rounded ones. It's got the rivets on there, a little bit of leather strapping at the very top. But yeah, that's more kind of clean aerodynamic look. As far as the torso goes, you do have one alternate torso, which is this one here. It has a removable chest plate. I do know that there's a lot of 3D printers that have made you know, different chest plates that will go in here if you want to create a different look. But this one on here is pretty cool. This is the Poxus one. A little hard to come by unless you're going to spend a lot of money for the Boxes character. So I believe we just got one in the All-Stars that has it as well. But yeah, this is a really cool chest piece, and I love the paint job on it too, like the leather kind of leaf and then the rivets and everything. So yeah, really cool look. On the shield, you've got kind of one of these bigger shields that we've seen on some of the knights, as well as in the weapons pack for Necronominus. It's got this kind of circular plug that goes in here, like so. And then on the back, you can have either the C-clamp holder or the like pistol grip one. So you've got both options on there. Typically on the heavier ones, I'll use the C-clamp. On the lighter ones, I'll use the pistol grip. So then you've got this axe. So it's got the wood grain on the handle coming up to the blade. You got a little bit lighter metallic in the inside of the blade, darker gunmetal matching the armor on the outside. For the sword, you've got this one, this kind of brutal looking one with a lot of nicks and scrapes and cuts in it. It's also got like the bone handle or horn handle on it. So pretty cool. And then you also get this really long sword, this great sword, I guess they would call it. It's a two-handed weapon. It's got that extra little kind of fins here. So yeah, that's the other weapon you get. So a lot of stuff in this package. You can create either the warrior or the revenant. And then, from there you can pop and swap and make whatever you want or use it for other customs or whatever. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into fast motion and put this back together. We're going to do the warrior first, show you what that looks like, and then we'll put it together as the revenant and show you what that looks like. So here we go with fast motion. So here is the warrior all put together. Man, just pretty cool looking, pretty badass. So so that's that look here. And then you could see all the extra parts that we still have. We still have two different head options over here with the knight helmet. We've got the Gorgo style helmet and the scaphoid head. We got an extra set of pauldrons, extra waist piece, extra loin piece, 2 extra sets of hands, 3 extra belts we didn't use, 2 weapons, a pistol grip for a shield, and a torso with a removable chest plate. So that is just a ton of extra stuff. With this being the character, you still have all that extra that you could use on another figure or what have you. So So that is this look. I'm going to go ahead and switch it to the Revenant now just to show you what that looks like, and then I'll be right back. All right, and here is a look at the Revenant build. So, you know, changed up the torso, the pauldrons, the neck piece, the waist, the loin, the weapons, the head, and look at all this stuff you still have left. You still got another different faceplate option for this one. You still got the Xylernian guard head, the Gorgo head, the Scaphoid head with a neck. Still got an extra waist and loin piece. You got 2 extra sets of hands, a pistol and a C clamp grip. You've got the shield, you've got a sword, a torso, set of pauldrons, an extra belt. So yeah, there's just a ton of extra stuff on this, and this thing is just so loaded. So there you go. So that is what you can build with this. We'll be back in just a second for final thoughts. All right, that's going to do it for the Revenant / Warrior build from the Legionscon Exclusive set. This thing is just really cool, man. I especially like this Revenant build with the Poxus torso in brown. I think it looks awesome. But both builds are great, and you have so many extra parts when you're done. If you've not ever gotten into the customizing game, these Legionscon exclusive sets are a great way to do that. It's kind of like a customizing toolkit. It's got so many extra parts that you can mix and match and swap around. It'll get you right into that kind of customizing mood. So hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely pick up at least 2 of these, one for the Revenant build, one for the Warrior. But man, there's so many like good parts in here. I would pick up a couple extra just to have all those extra parts for customs. So, but you know, do what's right for you. If you like this video, we do have a playlist for all of the exploded figure reviews. You can definitely check that out. I'll also have a picture of this exploded view laminated at my desk at table 9 at Legionscon. The exclusive table will be table 10. So if you're over there and you're making your final decision, you're trying to decide, you know, do I get 2? Do I get 4? How many do I get? You can always pop over right next door to me. I'll have that laminated sheet. You can take a look at it, remind yourself of what parts are in there, and make those final decisions. So once again, hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, folks, keep creating.